Hey, 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 what's going on? Welcome to Chatting with C. Oh my gosh, I know it's been forever since I did a video. This is my first video of 2023. Quarter two, spring is here. I feel like I've kind of just been hibernating. If you were with me at the end of last year, you know that we were going to try to float with the seasons this year. And so winter is like hibernation, really kind of like staying inside, being to yourself, really kind of working on some stuff. And that's kind of what I've been doing this winter. I did travel a little bit January, February, March of this year for work, and then some personal traveling. So I've been kind of busy, but I haven't forgot about my channel. I kind of feel like, oh my God, what else am I going to talk about? But I see that there's still comments and you guys are commenting on videos and we're kind of going back and forth on some. So there's plenty to talk about apparently. So thank y'all. The one-sided friendship video did hit over 10,000 views last month. So that is super cool. Thank y'all so much for watching, for sharing. Obviously, I know that 10,000 people didn't probably watch the whole video, but just to click on it and hopefully they got a little piece of something is super awesome. I had to really think about, like, when I did that video, what was really going on? Everybody likes that video, but I think it was other people were calling and talking to me about their friendships and stuff that was going on. And I just kept thinking and listening like, gosh, these sound so one-sided. And obviously I had been through that too. So when I made that video, I really was just talking. So it's kind of cool to see that it's really helping people and that other people have been through it and are sharing too. So thank y'all so much for that. I appreciate it. Let's see, we did do the vision board party. My vision board's up for 2023. The book club, we're working on that. So if you wanted to be a part of that, quarter two will have its own book. So yeah, just a lot of good stuff happening and going on. But I wanted to do this video because I feel like there is a transition happening in the world. But I also am talking to people who seem to be in a crossroads, kind of a transition phase, a transformation, if you will, in their own lives. And it's kind of freaking people out. Like, a lot of people are like, what's going on? What's happening? Some people are awakening or joining their real spiritual journey. And so that can be a little bit scary because you start to question everything you've ever known. You start to see things from a different perspective. You start to feel things. And it can be scary because you don't know what's going on. And I feel like a lot of people are in that space, even if you go through it. Like myself, I feel like mine started years ago. But you're still going to keep evolving and you're still going to keep transforming as you're in the process. So it just seems like a lot of people are going through that right now and trying to navigate and figure out like what's going on, what do we do? And so I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because I was looking at Instagram because I like IG, and I was looking at Blac Chyna and Angela White, which I think one of my videos last year or the year before, I was talking about her in a video, and I was talking about just how like her life just seemed like it was all over the place. Like, who was the people she was hanging out with? What is going on? Like, I just kept saying that. And that when she got ready to really change up her life, things would look different for her, is what I really believed. And I don't remember which video that was in, but I know I put it in a video or I was talking about it. Anywho, so to see her go through her transformation right now that she's going through, I think is incredibly brave of her. One, to just do it. Just to decide I've had enough and I want my life to be different. I want to try something different. That in itself is like so brave. To do it publicly is even braver, right? Like, she's allowing people in, and with that comes a lot of negativity, right? Because some people want her to stay the same, or they're always going to be like, well, no, that's Blac Chyna who did this, that, and the third, that's fine. She doesn't live there though. She's not tied to her past. She has made a conscious choice and decision to try to be better, to try to be the best version of herself that she can be. And that's really all we can do. And once you make that decision, the rest kind of falls into place. And I think it's kind of cool to watch her go through the transformation and through her elevation right now, because a lot of people, like I said, I feel like are in a space kind of like that now. I don't necessarily mean like they're going to get baptized and things like that. However it works for you is how you go through it. But I think people are starting to realize that there's more to life, that we're here for more, and that we've been so sucked into the media and so sucked into all of these different things of what success and what life is supposed to be, that a lot of people are starting to really want something different, want a break, want to slow down, want to enjoy life, but in a way that's not waiting till I'm 65 and retired and have to have all this money in the bank to enjoy it, right? I think a lot of people are noticing that. And one thing that she had said, Blac Chyna said that she was going back to Angela White, which is her name, and that Blac Chyna was a brand, an image for her. And I thought, wow, that is crazy. That is a good way to look at it, because for so long we've all created an image, an idea, an identity that we feel like gets us accepted, that allows us to be in certain spaces and rooms, that has helped us to survive the things that we have been through, that help us to feel connected and accepted by people, that have helped us to make a ton of money maybe, but on the inside it really didn't feel right. It really didn't sit right. And every choice and decision and things you were trying to do, they just were not coming together. And even though it was okay, at a certain point you start to feel that inside, like, okay, this doesn't work. Like the something's wrong, something's going on. And it ends up being that identity that we've created, it's time for us to lose it. And that was one of the biggest things that I worked on and learned last year when I told you guys about the year of you was 2022, and I was trying to be more consistent, and it turned into me being more authentic, being myself, like letting go of the image that I thought I was supposed to be for people and just actually showing up as myself. Like some days I'm in a great mood, other days I don't want to be bothered. But every day I got hope. Every day I'm, here for people, but I had to be able to be really honest with myself so I can be honest with other people. And sometimes to get to those levels, you have to start breaking down those walls. You have to start separating yourself. And what you will find, obviously, is when you're going through a transformation or a state of elevation and you're evolving into a new level, the people around you are more than likely going to change. And I've been talking to a couple people who are like, oh my God, I don't know about like this friendship or these relationships or my relationship with my spouse or, my boyfriend or my girlfriend. It's kind of weird. My baby mama, like people are talking about like they just not sure anymore. And I think it's quite interesting because we become attached to people. And of course, marriage, the idea is to get married and stay married. And I am 100% into that and believe that. Absolutely. However, I do think that there is a flip that kind of happens when one person is wanting to evolve and grow and go to another level, and somebody else is not quite ready and not quite there. It starts to create an imbalance in the relationship. And so a lot of people I hear are kind of at that imbalance. What do I do? What's happening? And I don't tell people what to do because I never want to be the person to be like, oh my God, leave your person. That is, because let me tell you what, when I get my person, I'm going to be just like y'all, fighting for mine too, okay? But you also have to think about, in order to really know what to do, you have to keep pouring into yourself. Because the more we pour into ourselves and the more we're open to really see what's happening, to really be accountable and acknowledge some of the things that we've done, some of the choices that we've made, and really accept that that's why we are where we are today. Doesn't mean that it has to be bad. It just means that we made some choices and that's why we're kind of here. And now it's kind of like what happens. It still was a lesson. It was still important. It still got you to where you are today. And being able to accept that in those lessons is going to be key too. But somewhere along the way, you may end up having to distance yourself from some people because they were only intended to go with you to a certain level, to a certain space. And in order for us to get to the next level of life, or to the next levels, or to be able to really reach our purpose, or to really um, reach our full potential, some people can't go with us because they won't know how to support us. They won't know how to be happy for us. We will be giving too much of our energy and attention into getting them to be proud and to clap for us and to be accepting of us, that now we're not really giving all of it to, what we're supposed to be doing, or to our true happiness, because I'm still trying to make sure that you're going to be a part of my happiness and that you're like happy for me, even though like it's not your turn, it's my turn, but you're still happy, right? And we're still good. Like if you start doing all that, now you've lost focus on your own. And that's why some people can't go. Some people are going to be jealous. Some people are going to pull you back. Some people are going to be the type of people who sit and tell you and remind you of all the stuff that you did and why you can't be a new person today. And why it's not acceptable for you to now say that you are spiritual when last, 6 months ago, you were drinking left and right and you were this and that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you were 6 months ago. It doesn't matter who you were 3 months ago. What matters is who you are today and where you're trying to get to, and making the choices and the steps to get there. That's what matters. And sometimes when we're around the wrong people, we cannot get to where we're going. And it's one of the hardest things about transitioning is that you lose people. I have people that I don't talk to at all. I don't have any beef with them. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. If I seen them in public, I would definitely talk to them. I would be like, hey, how are you? Like I would. Just because we don't hang out doesn't mean I don't care or that I don't think about them. And I'm like, I hope that things are going well for them. It's just for me, I know that my circle that I have, the energy that I have around me is very positive. It's very honest. It's very genuine. I don't have to worry about, am I being critiqued, or is this person going to tell this to somebody else, or are they really understand? Like, I don't worry about that kind of stuff with the people around me. And I like it that way. I have often invited people in who I knew shouldn't be there, and then my whole world gets wrapped up in all kinds of stuff, and now I gotta fight tooth and nail to get back to a good place again within myself. And I've just got to a place where I don't like to do that, especially when I already know that your energy is not a good mix for my energy. And that's just what it is. It's no shade. I appreciate the times we've had. Oh my gosh, the joy, the jumps, the laughs, the trips, the whatever that we have done. It doesn't erase any of that. It just means that I'm moving forward and you're going in a different direction, and that's just what it is. And unfortunately, it's a really hard thing, because you'll make people, you'll meet new people like as you're going, and it's like, oh my gosh, okay, I got some new people, like this is cool. And then like 6 months from now, you're not with those people either. Huh? Wait, what just happened? It's not necessarily a bad thing. It means, okay, they were for this season. They were here for this 3 to 6 months. And now it's, in order for you to keep going, you have to let these people go. We often want to hold on so tight to people because of the connections that we've made. And that often slows us down and keeps us held back. We have to stop being so afraid to let go of people. We don't own people. And nobody owns us. We appreciate, we love the connections and the energies and the vibes and the feels, but people want to be people. They're going to do what they want to do. And sometimes holding on so tightly to something or a situation means that when it's over and it's done with, the amount of work to actually heal yourself again is going to be even more, because you wouldn't let go and you continue to be damaged by holding on. So now when it's all over and you're ready to rebuild, it's going to be tooth and nail, hell and high water to rebuild because of what you have gone through. Learning when to let go of people is huge in your transformation. I think being able to go to yourself and just kind of like, okay, let me figure this out, see things a little bit, have a couple people that you talk to. I think that's kind of where we're at. I think that um, you won't have all the answers, right? Like it's not like, oh my God, I know everything today. Woo, that was easy. Like, no, it's a whole journey. It's a whole path. It's a whole thing. I think, I've been on Nipsey Hussle lately, like, oh my gosh, like just on it, right? And I just love that it's a marathon. And I always think about that when I'm trying to get to something, or I'm like, why is this not happening? Because it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And even though you like pass this piece, you still got to go to the next piece. And you still have, and we're going to keep continuing to go there. And throughout this journey, you're going to learn things, you're going to do things. And they all mean something because you've all made a choice. You've made a choice that is either going to give you this or it's going to give you that. And then after that, you're going to make another choice. And then from there, you're going to make another choice. And the choices that you are making are going to determine kind of where you're going, because of what you see and what you know, what you feel, what your intuition is telling you, what your purpose is, how you're trying to get there. It's going to be able to tell you if you're headed in the right directions or the wrong directions based off your choices. You will know if you're going further and further away. You'll feel if you're getting closer and closer, because there's a calm, there's a peace, there's a level of acceptance, there's compassion, there's love, there's patience, there's understanding, there's the excitement and the desire to want to do more. Like, that's all going towards the good stuff. If it's all tumultuous and you don't know and you're confused and it's up and down and one day it's good, the next day it's not, and I don't know if I all the time and I made this choice, it's probably a good idea to stop and really think about why you're making those choices. And do they really align with where you see yourself or where you're trying to get to? If that kind of helps a little bit. I know, I feel like I just said a whole lot of stuff, but I know it all made sense. I know it did. So, anywho, that's just what I wanted to talk about on this video, is that, the world is changing. We as people are changing. We are paying more attention to the world around us. We are paying more attention to our governments. There's a lot of things shifting and happening right now. And that means automatically us within ourselves are going to be shifting and changing as well, because we're paying attention to what's happening. And you're not alone. Some people are not going to evolve the way that we are. Some people are going to want to stay over there. They're not going to want to do the work. They are going to want to continue to stay ignorant to what is going on, continue to fight the urges and the intuition that tells them they need to make a change. They're going to continue to do that. And no matter how much we want to help those people and hold on to them, we got to learn to let go. Because the only way that we change the world is by changing ourselves. And by changing ourselves, we encourage other people to have the courage to start working and changing their own selves. And then you look up and you have a world and a community of people who are changing. And you have a real clear idea of people who don't want to change and don't want to be a part. And now you're able to see those people and keep them out of the mix, right? Like, we're starting to see a real divide happen, and people who don't want to grow and people who are, negative and low vibrating and all of that, they're all going to end up in a circle all by themselves together over there. And it's going to be very clear who they are because of how much work we're doing on ourselves. It will become very clear who's for you, who's not, what's happening and what's not happening. So I would say just keep going. Don't give up. It's hard. Don't give up. I'm still evolving. I go through stuff every couple of months and I'm like, I felt like I just went through that. And some days I have to ask myself, like, okay, what am I missing? Because I feel like I just did this. Like, what am I missing? And it happens. And then I sit and I be like, okay, last time this came up, I did this, this, and this. That didn't go very well. So this time I'm going to do this and this and see what happens. And then it'd be like, oh, whole totally different thing. And it's like, okay, so don't give up or get discouraged. I mean, There's really no right or wrong way to evolve in your own space and in your own world. Only you know what is important and matters and feels right for you. And don't let anybody hold you to your past. Don't let anybody make you feel like you have to stay there, because you don't. We are allowed to grow. We are allowed to make mistakes. We are allowed to forgive ourselves and others. And we are allowed to still be great and awesome and become the best versions of ourselves and live our most authentic, best freaking lives while we're here. We get to do that. It's part of it. So let's get to doing it. Okay. All right. I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for chatting with T.